How's it going, everyone? So, we're going to do a voiceover. It was really windy and audio didn't really turn up. So, it is February 7th. I'm going to be going through the app I made, doing a deep hive check. So, we're going to be going through all of it, seeing what was in there and how the bees are looking at the beginning of February. So I've not been in this colony since probably October. They're showing us just smashing some small hive beetles, and they do overwinter here in Oklahoma just fine. And we'll catch some every now and again. When we see them, we smash them. So inside, this is 7 frame Apple nice little cluster size there. Trying to get that first frame out, so when we are when you're coming out of winter and you're breaking up the propolis sills for the first time, those frames can get really sticky. So that is do that, and we'll clean off the burr comb that is sticking there. You'll see me scrape it down here in just a moment. Alright, looking at the first frame. This hive is a little bit light on food stores, so we will be feeding them some liquid feed. I always recommend, if they're light on food stores and we're in February, March, to get liquid feed on them. Even though we still have a lot of winter left, they will be able to get it. So what we're seeing in there is a lot of pollen, and mainly yellow and orange around this area right now is what is coming in. But good pollen sources are blooming. They're probably from elms, possibly from some cedars, dandelions, and henbit is up. So we got some weeds coming through, and elm trees, maples are fixing to bust. That right there is a little patch of honey, and the rest of that frame is empty. So definitely need food on them. Checking over everything. So the queens are laying. That we went through there's a patch of capped brood right there. On the outskirts of that is also larvae. So the queen she is laying. You'll see her here in just a moment. But she is laying. We got eggs. There she is right there. And capped brood. So the biggest concern right now for us is the food stores. Some people that keep it in a double deep hive, you'll have a lot more food stores than a single. We've been pretty warm. We've had our cold spell, but we've been fairly warm. Maybe average, but our averages are like in the 50s. So plenty of flying days, and it could happen. Some of our colonies get light on food, some don't. Some are, almost all of them are birding up. This one in particular had a frame and a half of capped brood and larvae that we were noticing. That was the general with most of the hives that we have been checking so far. So again, there's another frame that we pulled up. It has more brood on it as well. But again, seeing a lot of pollen, and there's just not a lot of honey stores, food stores, liquid stores on them. So we will be getting them some food. Alright, get the frames put back in. So it's looking like a nice colony. So we're going to put a half patty on the colony. We're using a global patty right now. It's what we had. And we have to put them at the front. So in these FMA hives, as I was just showed you, the slit for the food for the bees to get into is right in the middle. So you have to put the patties in the front or in the back, and then we're going to put in 2 bananas. We're going to put them in the back as well. That kind of balances out that top feeder for the hive. Well, Mr. Mavs is in the background. He likes the camera. So we leave the pill on. Again, it's what we use. I don't mind using bananas. We get them for free from the stores. We're going to throw them away anyways. So we get them and we give them to our bees. It does help out and for them to brood up, and it gives them a little bit of sugars and some much needed vitamins and protein, or vitamins and nutrients for them. So we put 2 on there. Again, pollen patty in front, the bananas in back. If we're going to use a whole pollen patty, then I split it in half, put 1 in the top, 1 in the back. That way, those feeders right there, they fit nice, and they don't wobble around on there. So then we're going to check the feeders. One thing that you have to do with the Apame feeders, the bees like to propolize everything. And so I'm going to take this top lid off right here, and there's some small hive beetles in there we're going to kill. But that little part right there that I remove, and right there in the center, you want to, if you have an Apame, you want to take them out, and then you want to scrape the propolis right there off of the bottom, because bees will propolis that up. So when we fill it up with food, then it won't go in there. The bees won't be able to get it. So, we'll get it, get that propolis out of there. Now we're going to put the food on. Now you're going to see this food. It's just a 5-gallon bucket we use, and then a little pitcher. Again, I don't feed too much, so this system works out. But we'll probably end up getting a nice little pump for us eventually, just the amount of hives that we have now. But you'll notice the sugar water, so that's just a 1-to-1 syrup basically, is tinted, and that's the reason why is we're using some honey that we had harvested, but it is not very good tasting. It's not really palatable, but so we dilute it, and that's why it is colored like that. So there's really nothing like an additive added to it. It is just a watered down honey to dilute it. You can't put honey directly onto the feeders. The bees can't take it. It has to be in a more liquid state than the honey. So we can do that. We've done it before many a times when we get into areas. Some areas just don't produce a nice honey, or it's bitter or something. It's great for the bees, but we're not going to eat it. So again, we're in February. Lots of winter left. You know your area. Feed if you need to, but understand there could be consequences to it. And we have queens on hand. We can split if early splitting comes in, or if we need to early swarms and stuff like that. So we have the resources on hand. This is what we do. We do not blanket every yard. It's just something that we do in certain yards. We'll feed the pollen patties and liquid syrup now. In other yards, we've left plenty of honey, or if they do need a little bit of food, we will give them some liquid feed, and that is just better than the solid sugars for them. So, all right, well, we hope your bees are doing good. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the recording, but anyways, that's what we're seeing in February 7th. So, hives are looking good. We're pleased with it. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.